In this video we're going to go through some possible cruiser ships with fits for those Amarr Capsuleers in the alpha state. Okay, so this is the ship we will be fitting. We will start with the Mauler with a Brawling solo PvP fit. We will start with the heavy Modulated pulse energy beam turrets with Multifrequency, which give us around 7 to 8 kilometers range. And then we have a 50 mN Microwarpdrive with a speed of 1600. Then we fit a Capacitor booster and a warp scram. Now our damage control, 800 mm plate, adaptive nano plating with Ancillary medium armor repairer, and we of course need energy rig to be able to online it. And last, before the rigs, we fit the heat sinks for more damage, so the energy rig and Nanite in the repairer and the drones. And we are done. We're almost up at 400 DPS, which are great with this tank. If you need a longer range, you use radio and get around 25 kilometers range, but of course with lower damage. So let's look at the alpha state pilot. It does around 300 DPS plus the drones and can tank around 160 DPS with a tank of 24k effective HP. The speed is considerably lower, only at 1100 meters per second, but is still fine considering the low skills we have to work with and the price tag of the ship at 30 million. We will now fit the Arbitrator, which will be used for solo PvPing as well. Let's start with 2 medium newts and 2 small. Then we go for the 50 mN MVD, which will currently give us 1700 meters per second. The capacitor booster, which are needed to maintain the newting, a warp scram and a tracking disruptor. Well, apparently I don't have the skill. Well, you can of course change it to a webfire if you don't have the skills, but it really reduces the damage from the enemies with the tracking disruptor. Now we go for the damage control and 2 reinforced bulkheads. We will use faction hammerheads, which gives us around 200 DPS, and with 2 drone amplifiers we almost do 300. And of course you should have some scripts of your choosing in the tracking disruptor. Then we need the hull rigs for increased tank, and with 60% resistance in structure you gain around 20k EHP in game, and a speed at 1700 meters per second. Let us check how it looks in alpha state. It gets around 220 DPS with the same tank, but with some slight decreased speed, and it's still an okay solo PvPing ship. So let's continue. The next ship is the Omen, which are going to be fitted for kiting enemies, and it's kind of the same as the Omen Navy, as we will soon fit after this. We fit the focus modulated turrets, and let's see what the DPS will do with Multifrequency. It's almost at 230 DPS without any increased damage modules. And now we fit the 50 MVD, which currently give us 2 kilometers per second. A small capacitor booster for slight increasement in cap, which can be really nice if you aren't really careful with your cap when you're kiting. Then we fit a warp disruptor, a medium auxiliary repairer, and of course a damage control, a nanofiber and 3 heatsinks. It now does just under 400 DPS without the drones and 450 with, but it's not really meant to be this close, so you should use standard for optimal range and damage, which gives you a total of just over 300 DPS with a range of 26 kilometers. But it's still too close, so you won't get caught fighting better close range ships or more enemies than you can handle, since you don't have that much tank. So we need to increase the range of the turrets with energy locus rigs. Now we get 37 kilometers with standard ammunition and almost 60 kilometers with 230 DPS. Let's see how it looks in alpha state. You get around 270 DPS with standard instead of 300. With multi-frequency you do around 375 and instead of the 450. You get this ship plus fit for just under 30 million ISK, and with this DPS and this kind of possibilities that the Omen has as a PvP ship, it is a really good choice. But if ISK isn't an issue, you can just choose the Omen Navy issue. This ship is one of my favorite PvP ships. It has a high speed and damage, and with the possibility to shoot enemies at almost all ranges. This ship has kind of the same fit as the Omen, with only some small variations, so I'll do this just a little bit faster. There are two options to this fit. One is this one. I'm fitting now with dual nanofibers and auxiliary power rig, and the other is with a polycarbon engine housing as a rig and a reactor control unit instead. The difference is just a little more speed with the first fit, but it costs 30 million more, almost at 110 million, and the other with lesser speed, only 83 million. This ship is awesome for small gang fleets with perhaps a light dictator. You can be outside the enemy range and do high DPS without being in danger. You can also kite larger fleets, tackle, or firing blows while aligning away and keeping distance at a high speed as a third party. So let's see with Alpha State Pilot, and with this is other fit I was talking about. You do around 485 DPS with the Omega Pilot and just under 400 with this Alpha. Even with this high ISK cost, this ship is one of the top 5 best PvP cruisers and has been that for a long time. A very good choice for small corporations or small gangs to have as a possible doctrine ships to be able to engage larger or heavier fleets. Thank you for watching, hope you see as much opportunities as I am regarding the Alpha State Pilots, and don't forget to follow and check the playlist for all other races PvP ships available for those without the Omega State.